Alrighty, morning everyone, and welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel on another beautiful day. In today's video I want to talk with you about Junksilver. Well, that's something new, isn't it? Nah, not really. We pretty much talk about that stuff every video because that's just the kind of stuff that I like. But anyway, I want to talk with you about the shortage of said Junksilver today, or, well, basically lack thereof at the moment, but the possibility for it in the future. And that is something that I have recently heard a lot more about than I thought I would, actually, because I was always like, how can there be a shortage of Junksilver? It's stuff has literally been made like hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of times, right? Especially the smaller Junksilver coins. I'm using the word Junksilver in this video mainly. Really, it is constitutional silver, right? What I'm talking about or referring to, but most people just know it under the term Junksilver, even though it is not junk. Yeah, in my opinion, it is actually far from it, and I would never even consider melting any of this stuff in. But that's what most people consider it being, yeah, when they talk about stuff like old currency coins, or maybe also commemorative coins that were kind of sorta but not really part of the currency system, stuff like that, right? And yeah, I want to talk about that today because I think it's an interesting topic, and I've also got a whole bunch of new constitutional silver that I recently bought. And there's a big variety of stuff, and we're gonna go through all that today and then add it to our stack here, and then yeah, really epic. So yeah, but first of all, I wanted to quickly talk about something in regards to the last video, because I think there were some misconceptions there. You all know that I don't really have a main language, right? That is something that I've made very clear in the past videos. I don't have one language that I speak and mainly speak. I have multiple ones because I don't really live only in one country. It's a little bit complicated. It has something to do with my past. I didn't ever do anything wrong, don't assume that or something like that. It's just a little bit complicated. But that is one of the reasons why I don't get stuff like people misunderstanding me and taking something personally. I never mean anything personal that I say to someone in the comments or whatever that didn't do anything to me. So if I say something to you that you think is offensive to you or whatever, just ignore it. It can't be that hard, right? I don't do that on purpose. I just, in my language, stuff like offensive language doesn't really exist, right? Besides obvious swear words, it just doesn't work like that when you've got multiple languages and you gotta keep track of all of them. I don't have things like that. If I try to explain something and I say stuff like, for example, listen mate or listen buddy, I don't mean that in a bad or offensive way. I just wanted to quickly state that because I think there were some misconceptions about that. So yeah, there's that. I guess I'm sorry if you misunderstood that. No, wait, I guess I'm not sorry about that because I really don't care, right? And neither should you, because it's just words. And it wasn't anything, primarily offensive, so just ignore it. Rightio, now that we got that useless shit out of the way, let's get through all the stuff that I brought for you today and that I recently bought, because I think it's a lot of interesting stuff that has a lot to do with today's video topic. First of all, I've got some dimes over here, and these are actually kind of special dimes. At least over here you can't really get those for a reasonable price, and I actually did get them for a reasonable price. So the first one is a 1903 Barber dime. I don't think that this is really something special for most of you Americans. It's a New Orleans mint mark and stuff like that. You can see that down there, but nothing special, right? It's not. I don't think so, at least, and I didn't really pay a lot for it, and so yeah, that's pretty much fine. And then I've got this one, which is a seated Liberty dime, really cool, very old one. Well, not a very old one, but a old coin for my standards. This is an 1889 one. I don't think that this has a mint mark. No, it doesn't. But yeah, really cool. It of course is a worn one, and it probably doesn't have a lot of value, but I just like those because I really like really old coins, very epic. So yeah, nice. I think it's a bit unfortunate that there's no like eagle design or something on the back. It's just a bit of a plant thing, but still very nice coins, and I'm very happy that I have some of those as well. Also, two normal dimes, right? Two normal mercury dimes. Silver dimes. I've got some more of those coming. I actually got a really good offer that I pretty much instantly bought for 100 dimes, and I paid 180 bucks for that. So very happy about that. Very, very epic. I got a silver eagle, 1 ounce normal bullion silver eagle, and I think I've actually got a coin capsule for that, so we're gonna put that in there now. And this is in 1993, and I think it's actually reasonably hard nowadays to get these older eagles, so I was very happy that I could get that for, I think it was 28 bucks. I got it at an auction, so nice, right? Very, very epic. And yeah, really cool. It's got a little bit of nice toning. I don't hate that. It looks cool in my opinion. I'm a big fan of toning, right? I don't really have anything against that. But if you have anything against that, that's probably one of the reasons why this coin went for not a lot of money. But yeah, very cool. And of course, it's real. I tested it. So there's that. Then I've got some more interesting coins. I've got this one, which is I'm just reading the rim here, World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago in the year of 1893. Oh, that's the right way around. And yeah, cool coin with, old Columbus on the back. Nice, very, very epic. I think it looks cool. I don't prefer it over the normal American constitutional silver, like, $half walking liberties and stuff like that, just because it doesn't have any eagles on there, and I love my eagles, so... But yeah, it's still a very interesting coin. I don't know why it's so black. It was probably buried or something like that. But, still a nice coin, and I basically paid spot for that. I think I even paid a little less than spot for that, so nice. And in the same lot... I also, let me clarify that a little bit. That was a separate order that I ordered, and that was a separate one. This one, I think, is connected to all of these here, and also to one peace dollar. So this is another coin that I got in the same order. This is, from what I could find about it online, is the 25th anniversary of George Washington commemorative thingamajigger. And this is actually in pretty good condition. And I think I'm going to sell that, actually. Because if it's not mint state, it's at least close to mint state. And they actually produce less of those in normal, in a normal... uncirculated condition thingamajigger than they did in proof. So about 4 million coins of these were minted in proof and about 2 million in not proof. So this is actually the rarer one, even though it's a lower grade, quote unquote. I think you call that grade. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm probably gonna sell this one just because I can't keep it nice around here. I don't have the a capsule that it would fit in, and I don't really want to drop it and basically just have it for silver value. Then that would be a bit unfortunate for a coin that's really in good condition. Rightio, moving on. In the same order, I got 4 of these 40% Kennedy half dollars, so that's epic. We're gonna add those over there to our Kennedy half dollar 40% stack, and I've also got 2 90% Kennedy half dollars, as well as 2 Ben Franklin Liberty Bell half dollars. Very cool. Of course, also 90%, and 1 of these peace dollars. Let's move on to the peace dollars. Speaking of which, I've got 4 peace dollars actually here in today's unboxing thingamajigger. And the first one is a 1923 Philadelphia. Pretty nice, right? It's a peace dollar. They always look beautiful. There's another one. There's a bit of a better condition. Unfortunately, it has this black stuff on it. Not sure what that is. Also Philadelphia. Also, no, that's a 1922. Then we've got another 23, which is probably been cleaned at some point. And this is actually a Denver 1923. I think that was actually a slightly better date. I think there was like 10 million of them minted or something like that. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. I just buy them for, because I like them. And there's another 1923 Philadelphia. So very, very cool. Got our 4 nice little peace dollars here to add to the stack. And then, of course, we've got a whole bunch of Walking Liberty half dollars because I actually kind of want to try something with these, and I want to start maybe, adding them to the stuff that I maybe pay people for stuff, right? For things that we do over here, and nothing bad. It always sounds a bit weird when you say it like that, but just like normal goods and services, right? And I want to try that. I want to try if that works and how that goes. I think that's pretty cool. And over here, they're actually worth a lot more than just spot. I know in the States it's probably a bit different. I don't know. I would assume because there's a lot of them still out there. But over here, they're worth around 15 bucks a piece. which is a lot higher than the silver value, which is like what, like $8 or $9. So yeah, they carry a hefty premium over here anyways, not regarding any of the better dates or whatever. So yeah, but I want to try that with those because I can get a lot of them, and so I want to try that, give that a try. I've also got some more over here, some more walking liberties in here. It's actually pretty interesting that they fit perfectly in these gold maple leaf tubes. Quite cool. So if you wanted to know that, there you go. Now you know. Pretty epic. And I've also got another one. It's just lying around here, so we can add that to this pile as well. And the last thing that we have is this full tube of silver quarters from, I think, 1935 is the oldest one, up until 1964, of course, when they stopped producing the fractional silver stuff. So yeah, there's a 51 up there. That was a pretty nice condition actually, and this whole tube is full, and it's 47 in there. Pretty nice. And that pretty much instantly brings us to the topic of today's video. So it was a little bit of a long introduction, but I really like talking about the stuff that I bought, and I think it's also interesting maybe for you. I don't know. If not, well then just skip it. There you go. And yeah, so let's talk about the silver shortage, or the shortage of constitutional silver mainly, or junk silver. Doesn't matter really what you want to call it. And the main thing that people are now saying is, and that I've heard on YouTube and also from other people, is that junk silver or constitutional silver is getting harder and harder to get in the US. I don't know if you've noticed that or not. Let me know in the comments. I don't know. I'm just talking about the things that I've heard because I don't currently live in the US, unfortunately. So there's that. But I've heard that constitutional silver in general is getting more expensive, it's getting more of a markup, and it's getting harder for wholesalers to get their hands on enough of it to supply the demand, basically, right? And if it's true, let's just assume that it is, because I have no real way to verify that myself because I can't go to the US, unfortunately. But if it's true, I think there are multiple reasons for that. Of course, the first one is that constitutional silver in general is something that a lot of people know. Many people probably even grew up with it, right? Grew up with having constitutional silver coins in their, in their portemonnaie and stuff, and paying for stuff with them. And, I think that a lot of people that know what these things are worth nowadays are going back to those silver coins, right? Are going back to those silver coins, buying them, maybe even trading with them locally and stuff like that. I've heard multiple stories about that as well. I also usually listen to Yankee Stacking. I really love that channel. If you don't know what that channel is, go check it out. I doubt that any of you don't know what that is, but I really love that channel. And Yankee's silver dealer, his name is Tim. He talked about that in one of his recent videos that he did together with Yankee Stacking, and they talked about stuff like that. And they talked about how many people nowadays are actually, many people that stack constitutional silver are actually trading with other silver stackers, or even just with random people that appreciate silver and that like to have silver around, are trading with that for like food and goods and services and stuff like that. And I think that's awesome. I think that's a really, really awesome thing, but it probably also contributes to a higher demand in junk silver or constitutional silver. And especially in sizes like, for example, a quarter or a dime or $half and things like that, right? And the main reason for that is, of course, because these are available for somewhat near silver value, so it's really easy to have a price for them there, right? Where people can say, yeah, that's what it's worth today and stuff like that, and you don't have to really worry about any collector's value and stuff like that, because that would also obviously not be great for trading and stuff like that and buying stuff for those coins. And they are very small in size, and therefore only also somewhat in value. Of course, a tube like that is maybe worth like $250, so it's not nothing in value, right? But it's very easy to kind of split it, right? To split the amount that you want to pay for something. You don't have to, for example, if you wanted to pay something with like a P-Star or something like that, you would have to get change, right? Because it's like worth 25 to 30 bucks, and most things aren't worth exactly 25 or 30 bucks. So you need kind of like smaller silver coins to substitute that, right? And to be, actually give the person the money that they need without actually losing some of your money, right? Because even a small dime like that is worth like $2 nowadays, right? Almost $2. So it's not really a very small denomination anymore, if you can call it that. And so you got to be kind of mindful of that you got to have somewhat rounded prices and things like that. But I don't think that that's really a problem, honestly, because silver obviously fluctuates and it's not really that important for that. And so I think that's a great thing. But I also think that this increase in demand for constitutional silver obviously also increases its markup over time. And we got to keep in mind, there's really not that much constitutional silver out there anymore. There's a lot. It is a lot. There's no question about that. But it's nothing in comparison to the bullion market nowadays, right? Bullion market is massive in comparison. If you just think about how many peace dollars were minted in the complete time that the peace dollars were minted, from 1921 to 1935? I think so. Let's hope it's 1935. It would kind of sort of make sense, but maybe it's 1939. I don't know, right? But I calculated it out that it would be around 190 million peace dollars. Now that sounds like a lot, of course, but with today's value, that would only be worth about $6 billion. Also sounds like a lot, but keep in mind, there are people on the planet that have like hundreds of billions of dollars in net worth. So, and that is a main currency coin that was minted for a decently long time. Of course, there's a lot more Morgan dollars out there and stuff like that. But that's only the amount that was actually minted. Most of them were probably destroyed or lost over time. So, you get the idea. A lot of these coins aren't out there anymore. Right? That's why a very old coin that was minted in like 17 whatever, like a couple of million times, is nowadays worth like $1,000 or even more, right? Even though it's just a silver coin. Because most of these coins just get destroyed over time. Because you got to keep in mind, back in the days, these coins really had no value besides their silver content, right? No one cared about them really, because they were just part of a currency system. It's similar to nowadays, like who would care about a normal quarter necessarily? If it's just a normal quarter, like, it's a quarter, okay, great, it's got the value of a quarter. And that's how people thought about that stuff back then, right? So a lot of these coins got destroyed. A lot of these coins got basically just melted in and recycled into something else. And maybe some of them are even in our bullion coins now, very likely actually. And so I actually think that there's a lot less of them out there nowadays than there were initially minted. And that's, of course, one of the main driving factors in the price and the markup increase that they receive now. Of course, if they were all still intact, we would probably not see the shortage that we have right now, right? Because there would be plenty of them. I think there were like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of these quarters, for example, minted, sometimes even hundreds of millions in 1 year. And so, at least as far as I know, that might be wrong. Take everything that I say with a grain of salt, because I'm really just, digging it out of my brain as I go along. But you kind of get the point of what I'm saying, right? There wouldn't really be a shortage if they were all still around. The fact that they are not, I think that is the main driving factor in the shortage. Another very important thing, I think, is the fact that these coins are very, very, very easily to verify for people that don't really know a lot about coins and don't really know a lot about silver and gold. It's not really the point. Gold is not really the point here, but silver, right? It's constitutional stuff. What does that mean? Well, it was minted by the government. Everyone kind of sort of knows these coins, right? Maybe not these or these, but the dimes, certainly. Roosevelt dimes were produced in 900 parts silver for some time. Of course, not anymore. But I don't even know if Roosevelt dimes are still a thing. Probably are. But, that's one of the main, very big advantages of these coins. everyone kind of knows them, right? Everyone kind of knows what that is. It's really easy to verify. You hear the difference between a clad coin or a copper coin or a brass coin and a silver coin if you just drop it on the table. It's very easy to verify, very easy to hear, and very easy to tell the difference. And also the weight is different, right? Because they've all got a very specific size. And, you know, if you've got a 1969 half dollar, it's not going to be as heavy as a 1964 half dollar, right? For example, this is just an example because they are, of course, the same size. They didn't make them bigger or smaller just because silver is a bit heavier than copper and nickel, right? You know, but it's very easy. It's a very, very good thing to trade with if you just want to really like trade, and not the trading that we, you know, speak about when we talk about trading and nowadays on the stock market, right? Just trading, I take a coin and I get a potato or whatever. You know, bad example, more like a kilo or two of potatoes. But, you know, I think that's a great way of doing it. And that's actually why I bought these quarters. And that's why I bought these dimes that are still going to arrive. These are, in my opinion, perfect for trading. I really can't imagine anything that would be better for trading, you know, besides actual goods and services. But as far as just stored up purchasing power goes, I think there's really nothing better than those. Really, really small coins. If you just think about it that way, if you want to buy a silver bullion coin in that size, or even worse, in the size of a dime, what kind of markup would you have to pay for that? Probably 200% almost with today's prices. For these, you barely have to pay any markup. At least I don't, because I kind of just look for deals until I find a good one. I don't know. Let me know the prices in America. How much is this stuff worth over spot? Is it just worth spot? Is it worth over spot? Let me know. I would be very interested in that. But yeah, I just think there's nothing better than that. And I really understand why the demand is there and why people want to secure their finances and their financial situation with coins like these. Really think it's a good idea, and I really like that. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on the whole constitutional silver stuff. And yeah, let me know your opinion on that. I think it's a really interesting topic, and I'm looking forward to kind of keeping an eye on that and looking how it pans out in the future. But yeah, I'm certainly still buying constitutional silver because, you know, if I can get it for cheap, of course, sign me up. So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to rate it with a thumbs up or a thumbs down, whatever you might want to do. If you've got any more questions, write in the comments below. And if you want to make me really happy, subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any other videos and stuff like that. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, and until next time.